Hi, for those of you that have watched my previous video, which was quite a few weeks ago, you would have seen that I had a flat which was rented out, and because of the high interest rates I had to sell. Had a buyer who pulled out at the last minute, so wasted 2 months of my time. Meanwhile, I'm paying around £1,500 in mortgages on a variable, which had gone on to a variable rate, and council tax and God knows what. So it's like costing me a lot of money. Fortunately, the mortgage interest rates came down. Although the Bank of England's base rate hadn't come down, the lending rates had come down. So I managed to secure a good rate and bring it down to a reasonable figure, and decided to keep the flat and refurbish it. So, as I say, those of you that have seen the last video would have seen how dire it was. I mean, it was really old-fashioned. I was renting out for £1,000. The tenant was happy because it was cheap. I was happy because I weren't doing any work, and it was a mutually agreeable arrangement between us both. But since then, I've spent quite a bit of money on this place, and let me show you around what it looks like now. So, as we come through the front door, as I quietly talk so that neighbours don't hear, the first thing, which is a big wow factor, is this kitchen. Gone for an indigo blue kitchen with a sort of a grey marble-ish effect laminate top. Got an integrated dishwasher, a washer dryer, loads of cupboard space. I put in a nice little breakfast bar down there at the bottom. Again, loads of cabinets. One of these really modern looking extractors, although it's recirculating, so it's not actually extracting, it's filtering. And then we've got a built-in fridge freezer here. Got an amazing deal on these tiles from £65 a metre. They were on offer at £40 a metre, and eventually the guy let me have them for £26 a metre. Really pleased with that. So yeah, it's a stunning kitchen. And even simple things like this, it's a ceramic sink. They're normally around 250 quid, and then you've got to buy the tap. Well, I went on Facebook Marketplace and found it complete with the tap for £65. Offered him 60, took it, he was happy, both of us were happy. So great, it's a great feature to the kitchen. So with property, kitchen is your number one selling point. Not that I'm selling now, this will be rented out. So moving around, we'll go into the living room, which you may have remembered had those like wonderful settees in there. Gross. Completely gutted out the whole room and decided to do a feature wall there. And now look at it. I've fitted very high quality carpets throughout. I think I paid £1,700. Well, so it's high quality you can get for 1,700 quid, but considering I could have carpeted this whole place for about 600 quid, I decided not to take that option. One of the other things that I did was change these storage heaters. Now, the original storage heaters were not energy efficient, and you may remember me saying that with the new laws coming in, or the proposed new laws coming in, after 2025, any property that's going to be rented out has to have a minimum of an C-rated EPC certificate. Anyway, there are 24 flats in this block and they're all E. So I've kind of gone to town working with the energy assessor, and he's been advising me along the way what bits and pieces I needed to do, and I've managed to get it down to a C rating, which is good news for me as a landlord because it means I can continue renting it out, and also good news for whoever lives here because it means that their fuel costs are not going to be so high. So moving on, what is kind of the ground floor landing, although this is a first floor masonette. We've got a bit of storage in there. I've put new consumer unit in there as well. And going up the stairs, you can see I've kind of opted to go for like quite a lot of grey woodwork. Not the skirtings, but a lot of the woodwork I've gone for grey, just to get away from the white that everyone sticks to. Breaks up the monotony. And also little rose gold door handles, which I paid like 26 quid for when I could have got them for a fiver. Little touches sometimes make all the difference. And this is the smaller of the two bedrooms. Just fitted new blinds throughout as well. And then coming into the main bedroom. As I said before, this is a big bedroom. Makes a difference with the light on. There you go. And another one of these storage heaters here. These were expensive, and these were a good part of the reason why I managed to get it down from an E rating EPC down to a C. Now, behind this door here is a brand new hot water cylinder system. Now, previous to this, there used to be one of those old copper cylinders with a jacket on that was falling apart and not fitting. And just above there was a galvanized metal water tank. So we did away with that and replaced it with this, which is again more energy efficient and also means we get the benefit because it's now no longer gravity fed and runs on the pressure of the water of the mains. It means that I get really good pressure in the bathroom. Again, another expense, didn't have to go to it, but I've had this flat for 18 years and I'm probably now thinking I'm going to keep it until my kids take it over one day, possibly. So now moving into the bathroom, and my two favourite things are kitchen and the bathroom, which have got to be outstanding. And here we are. I hate it when the toilet seat is up. I bought nice quality high gloss anthracite units to go in there. Got one of those, it's a laminate floor but it's made out of vinyl clicking system or whatever, which is a bit warmer on the feet than traditional laminate, and it's also 100% waterproof. Nothing's ever going to go wrong with that. Picked out these marble effect tiles. Got a nice rain shower going on in there with an L-shaped bath, and also this little gadget, which is a hot air blower. There was one there previously, looked like the sort of thing like your grandmother would have had warming her feet once upon a time. This is kind of really modern thing. It's got remote control, it's got swing action and whatnot, so this will warm up the bathroom in no time. And we've also got this skylight up there as well, which where is it? There you go. I've made a stick for. So apart from the things that you've seen, I've also changed every bit of glass in this flat. There were 14 pieces altogether, large and small, and every single one of them was blown. And a nice little company that are local to me, and they changed the whole lot for just over £1,000 for me. So that was a big saving. God help me if I had to change the double glazed units, I'd be in for about £8 if I had to do that lot. So yeah, it's wasn't a bad spend on that. I was happy doing that. Again, added to the sort of energy efficiency because like the previous ones were rubbish and whatnot. They also had gaps in the double glazed units, which when the guys came and changed the windows, they also replaced some of the hinges for me. Now all the windows shut perfectly. So this project has taken me just under 8 weeks to complete, and that's me working like a dog on it. I mean, I really had to get this one out quickly because of the running costs, the monthly expenditure. For the most part, all the labour was my own labour, apart from when I had to pay for a plumber to install the hot water cylinder and an electrician to fit the consumer unit. And of course we got the carpets and the double glazing, which I had to pay professionals to do too. But with me doing all the labour on my own, it means I saved quite a lot of money, and I've got no doubt that there would have been an extra 10 grand spent if I had to get people coming in to do a lot of that work for me. So all in all, it's not a bad spend, more than I perhaps wanted to do, but I've always said the difference between a cheap looking refurb and an expensive looking refurb could only be a couple of £1,000 just by tweaking it here and there. And if you factor in that you're going to keep the place for the next God knows how many 10, 20 odd years, a couple of grand ain't going to make much of a difference, and it just means that you're going to get that much better clientele coming in to look at your place. As I said, I did have it sold at one point for 275 before the buyer pulled out, and I'm so glad they did, because they did me a massive favour. I've since had it revalued, had an estate agent come along and look at it, and different to the original agent who looked at it, and they valued it at 325,000. So you're talking about 50 grand difference there. Take out my expenses, and I've earned like a good £35,000 profit. Again, not selling it, but it's just added value to it. So previously I had it rented out for £1,000 a month, and that was all it was worth. So that's all I was ever going to get. Now that I've upgraded it, I've just put it onto open rent at £1,550 a month, and so far, within the last 12 hours, I've had 15 inquiries. And I've got no doubt that if I don't get 1550, I'm going to get very, very close to it. So that's quite an increase in rent. Granted, the mortgage has gone up, but I'm now going to be earning more than I was before the rates went up, purely because I've spent money on the place and done it up. So there you are. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you found it interesting, and hope to see you again soon.